All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about a huge shift in how companies handle their data. We're going to break down how you can go from feeling totally overwhelmed by data to actually using it to make smart, powerful decisions. So, first things first, let's talk about the reality on the ground for most organizations. Everyone wants to be data driven, but the truth, well, it often looks a whole lot messier. And wow, that one really hits home, doesn't it? It's such a perfect way to put it. It captures that frustrating feeling of having more information than ever before. It's somehow getting fewer and fewer clear answers. It's like we're all swimming in this ocean of data, but we can't find a drop of real knowledge to drink. And you've got to see this mess for what it really is. These aren't just little IT headaches or a messy database. No, no. These are symptoms of a much deeper, more strategic problem. When your data is disjointed, duplicated, or just plain wrong, you can't trust it. And if you can't trust your data, making quick, smart decisions becomes pretty much impossible. So you might be asking, how in the world did we even get here? Well, it all points back to a major flaw in our thinking, a trap we've been setting for ourselves for decades. And this slide just lays it all out, right? On the left, you've got the old way of doing things, the application-centric model. That's what gives you data that's siloed, duplicated, and totally out of date. But on the right, you have the goal, the data-ready model, which gives you trusted information that's available on demand and is way more cost-effective. This is the big choice that every single company is facing right now. And here it is, the core of the problem. For years, we've been obsessed with the shiny new software, right? The cool apps. But we've treated the data that actually powers everything as just an afterthought, a byproduct. It's like building the Formula One race car and then filling the tank with muddy, low quality gas. It just doesn't work. Okay, so that's the bad news. But don't worry, there is absolutely a way out of this trap, and it's built on a whole new way of thinking about data. It all starts with this technical shift, becoming data centric. This flips the whole IT strategy on its head. Instead of building it out and then just dealing with whatever data it happens to spit out, you start with the data. You design the data model first, treating it as the permanent central foundation. The applications, they're just temporary tools that come and go. So if data centric is the how, the technical architecture, then data ready is the why. It's the business outcome. It's that amazing state where you're fully prepared to use all that clean, organized data for what really matters, making smarter, faster, better decisions across the entire company. And when you make the shift, the payoff is just massive. I mean, we're talking about everything from being way more agile because you're not stuck with old systems to having a single source of truth that everybody actually trusts. And that in turn lets you adopt awesome new tech like AI way faster than your competition. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually make it happen? Well, thankfully, there's a clear, actionable roadmap to follow. It really boils down to these five strategic pillars. It has to start at the top with executive commitment. Then you create clear rules, get everyone speaking the same language, and make sure leaders are actively guiding the process and putting the money in the right place. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That third step, commit to universal taxonomies, sounds a little abstract, other jargony, right? But believe me, this next real world example shows you why it is maybe the most critical step of all. So let me ask you this, and really think about it. What does the word shipped actually mean at your company? It seems so simple, doesn't it? A package is shipped. But what does that word really trigger in your systems? What does it mean to your colleagues in different departments? This is where it gets both fascinating and, frankly, a little terrifying. The exact same word, shipped, can mean five completely different things. To one person, it means a barcode label was just printed. To another, it means the truck is already on the road. And sometimes it can mean absolutely nothing at all. This kind of ambiguity just creates total chaos and leads to some really bad decisions. And this is the whole point. This isn't some nerdy IT problem. It is a fundamental breakdown in business communication. If you and your team can't even agree on what a basic word like shipped means, then your data isn't giving you insight. It's actively working against you, just creating more confusion. Which brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of this entire puzzle. Making this kind of massive change happen takes real, dedicated leadership. This quote just nails it. This is not a technical project that bubbles up from the IT department. It can't be. This is a strategic pivot, a fundamental change in direction that has to be championed, driven, and demanded from the very top of the organization, from the boardroom, not the server room. Let's be clear, real leadership here isn't just about signing a check and walking away. It's about active stewardship. It means constantly reinforcing this data first mindset, making sure teams don't just drift back to their old comfortable habits, ensuring every single technical project is delivering clear, measurable business value. So, we'll leave you with this one critical question to think about for your own organization. Is your data an asset, or is it just an afterthought? Because in the end, your answer to that question will decide whether you're set up to drown in data or to be driven by it.
Hello, this is Raina McClure from SC Tech Insights. Thank you for listening. For more on this topic, click the article link below or go to www.sctechinsights.com for the latest insights on supply chain technology. Thank you and see you next time.